Hello, everyone, and welcome to AIM's second AI and HR week. Yay! I'm Lauren Patel. I will be your host and guide for the week. We are incredibly excited to be back here. So thrilled to have you on this journey with us. And let me tell you, we have done a lot over this last year with AI. We've added tons of new courses. We've added special events. And now, for the first time ever to the rest of the world, we are releasing an HR designed chatbot to help you with all of your HR functions. So throughout this week, you are going to be the first to be using AIM's designed chatbot named AAIME Hart to help you with all of your HR related needs. So as we go through each day, we're going to be working on some different activities. That chatbot is free to use. All you have to do is click the link to utilize it, and we'll be giving you prompts and guides and tasks to get yourself either familiar with AI for the first time if you haven't been using. And if you are a daily user like me, we are giving you some progressive items to work on to really help move it from this tactical approach to a very strategic approach. So today, what we are really working on and what your resource guide is including is a lot of information on how do we build better prompts. We're not talking about basic stuff like write me an email. We are working through next level when it comes to strategic prompting. So if you've been using AI, like we call them the baby cases, if you've been using it as a beginner, you're welcome here. We've got stuff for you. If you've been dabbling and you're ready to kind of take that next step, we've got some intermediate opportunities for you as well. If you're a super user like me, we've got you covered as well. So no matter where you're at in your AI journey, every day you're going to be able to go in, use AAIME Hart, and try some new prompts. So today what we're really doing is we are focusing on the anatomy of a prompt and how to move it forward. What you'll find in your resource guide is a little bit more than just the task-based prompting. It focuses more on the context that we can provide. It focuses more on how can we get it to speak in our voice, either as an HR leader or if we're writing on behalf of our company, how can we do that? We're also going to share some tips and tricks when it comes to memory, when it comes to custom instructions, when it comes to projects or agents. So it really doesn't matter what type of generative AI you're using, whether it's Copilot or Gemini or my personal favorite, ChatGPT. Everything that we're sharing with you can be used on all of these, but again, you don't have to sign up for any of them. We're giving you AAIME Hart to use. This is a fantastic benefit. Now, I know sometimes people are thinking, oh gosh, Lauren, but really is it safe? So AAIME Hart is indeed safe. We have designed it as AIM with all of our HR expertise and knowledge. We have loaded it with everything we can possibly think of to help you get the resources and information you need, like survey data from our benchmark surveys. We have filled it with the way we've answered our 24/7 hotline question for our members. It is chock full of incredible, accurate information, and it can really help you to not only answer questions, move your projects forward, and again, start thinking more strategically. So I will do a little demo for you on AAIME Hart of where to access it, how to use it, and we'll go ahead and post in there in your resources all of the prompts that you're going to need to start working through them today, as well as a few notes on the memory and those custom instructions. So no matter where you're at in the AI journey, you are so welcome here, and we are so happy to have you. So go check out your resource, use AAIME Hart. We're going to be using her every day of the week, and watch a little demo of how to use it. Thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow. So we are now in AAIME Hart. As you can see, she is a part of the OpenAI platform. While you can access AAIME Hart through the email that we sent you today and through your resource guides, you can also find her through the AIM website in our navigation or on our homepage. So as you notice, we are in ChatGPT. You will need to sign in to access AAIME Hart, but once you do, you'll see that up here. Again, this is where you can come in and customize, adjust your memory and any other settings. And then as you use her, you will see her over in the pane on the left as you roll along. So nice and helpful and easy to use. So as we are going through, we'll be using some of the examples from our prompt guide today, but let's just start with some of the options that we have up here on our screen. So I'm asking it about the top compliance topics that organizations are asking about lately. So it is first searching her own knowledge. So we have uploaded into AAIME benchmark survey data from a few of the surveys that we conduct. Our AIM members get the full kit and caboodle of them, but we've given AIME access to just a couple. We do also include information from questions that we answer on our hotline and anything else that we can think is really pertinent or important for her to know to best assist. So as you can see, we're taking a look at really what is on the minds when it comes to compliance of our HR community. And she does always offer you the option to connect with us. For our members, it's going to direct you back to that hotline if you want to chat with a real AIM human and versus our AI support. So we have all of this here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and transition and let's move into the prompts that we have specially crafted for today. Before I go in, because she does not have memory, I am going to give her that direction and that guide a little bit more about who I am. So I'm going to say for the following prompts, use this description. Now, I am going to utilize that beginner's prompt where I'm really asking for a checklist on how I should proceed when I'm stepping in to a new business and I need to kind of get the lay of the land. So I'm going to go ahead and use that prompt from our guide directly as it states. And it is giving me exactly what I asked for. It is giving me a checklist of things that I need to look for as far as people and structure, onboarding and hiring, policies and compliance. You can see it's decently thorough. It gives me a great place to start. So at this point, what I would do is then continue on with my prompts, continue down that system that we have created. And then you could do that next intermediate prompt, which is next in the process. But for time's sake, I'm going to go ahead and move on to that expert level prompt. So this one is asking for a little bit more strategic work, but also it's asking for us to upload. So if I've gone through my checklist, I've got my findings all collected, I can come in and add files simply by using that plus button. You can see I have a little sample right here that we are going to utilize. And this has just some very basic data for the purposes of this exercise. I'm talking about turnover rates, manager feedback, 90-day retention, employee engagement scores, just some different metrics that she might find that would be helpful. So at this point, she's now giving me an action plan, one pager that I can share with my leadership. So it's giving me the goals that I am setting out to achieve. It gives me some priority actions. It's talking about quick wins. I could say format as a table per item. Now, when I do this, I'm thinking, okay, these guys are all of my items. Let's see if she's thinking in the same way that I am. Perfect. She's really kind of running through what the solutions are to my challenges. She's also going through and saying, when do we need to do this? What are the purposes? What are the outcomes that I can expect? And giving me those action items. So that's really nice too. She does offer you the option to, you can edit it in Canvas if you want to tweak before you move it to a different platform. If you like her responses, give her a thumbs up. If you don't feel too hot about them, it's okay to give a thumbs down. It helps her to learn and improve. And then when you want to move this somewhere else, you can just directly copy. So those are some examples of how you can use AAIME Hart. So come in, ask your questions, and let's do the thing that we kind of gave you that extra little cherry on top challenge of take it just one step further. So one of my favorite things to do is when I'm working strategically on a project utilizing AI, I like to ask it about my blind spots. So let's go ahead and put a prompt in there about that. Considering what we're working on, what are possible blind spots I'm not seeing? So as we move forward, these are some things that I need to consider and make sure that I have assessed and are in here. If I find that something really wasn't covered as well as I'd like for it to, we can always ask her to come in and put that back in. So those are some interesting ways that you can use AAIME Hart. We hope you get in there and use her today. We'll be back again tomorrow with more activities and more prompts.